Hey, welcome back. So today I want to ask you something that sounds simple but will genuinely break your brain if you sit with it long enough. Why does anything exist? Not, how did the universe begin? That's a physics question. I mean something deeper. Why is there something rather than absolutely nothing? Why isn't there just a perfect, eternal, undisturbed nothing? Think about it. Nothing is the simpler option. No matter, no energy, no space, no time, no laws of physics. Just zero. Complete absence. That should be the default, right? So why did something show up? Philosophers have been losing sleep over this for centuries. Leibniz, the 17th century guy who also invented calculus, was one of the first to take this question seriously. He argued that nothing is actually unstable. That existence has a kind of logical priority over non-existence. But honestly, that feels like a clever way of saying because. Then there's the religious answer: God created everything. Fair enough. But here's the catch. Where did God come from? If your answer is God always existed, then I'm going to ask why we can't just say the universe always existed and skip the middleman. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Some physicists, and I mean serious ones, argue that nothing is actually impossible. Quantum mechanics tells us that a true vacuum isn't empty. It's seething with virtual particles popping in and out of existence constantly. Empty space does stuff, so maybe absolute nothingness can't physically exist. Maybe something was always inevitable. Stephen Hawking and others even proposed that the universe could have spontaneously emerged from a quantum fluctuation, no cause needed, because time itself began at that moment. Before the Big Bang, there was no before. But here's my favorite take, and it comes from philosopher Derek Parfit. He said, look, there are infinitely many possible universes, a universe with exactly 473 atoms, a universe where gravity is slightly stronger, a universe like ours. And then there's the empty universe, the nothing option. That's just one possibility out of infinite possibilities. So statistically speaking, something existing is almost guaranteed. Nothing would actually be the weird outcome. I don't know if that fully works, but I love that it flips the question on its head. Here's what I think the real takeaway is, though. This question, why does anything exist, is one of the few questions that genuinely resists being answered, not because we lack data, but because any answer immediately triggers another, but why? It's turtles all the way down. And maybe that's okay. Maybe the fact that we can even ask this question is itself kind of wild. You are a collection of atoms that somehow became conscious enough to wonder why atoms exist at all. That's not nothing. That's actually everything. Anyway, let that sit with you for a while. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I genuinely want to know what you think. And if your head hurts right now, that means it worked. See you in the next one.